Hey everyone, what you're about to hear is an episode of my podcast called The Tech Minute. More information at the end. Hey everyone, Apple releases many things every year, and I wish Apple would do a lot of things. So today I have my top 3 things I wish Apple would do. Let's go. At number 3, we have universal app purchases. I don't know how many times I've purchased an app like Do on iOS that is made for cross-platform notifications and stuff like that, but it costs a certain amount on iOS and an insanely amount more on OS X. Apple needs to give developers the option that when a customer purchases an app on one platform, the same app would be available on the other platform for free. I'm not saying this feature is needed for all apps like OmniFocus and other pro apps, but mainly for apps like Day One, which would make journal entries on all platforms much easier. At number 2, I wish Apple would let the iPad do more. Many of you may know Federico Viticci from Mac Stories. He runs his entire website off an iPad Pro. That is proof that it is possible to replace your computer with an iPad, but Apple needs to change a few things before we get rid of our computers. 3 of those things are bringing pro apps like Logic and Final Cut to the App Store, giving iOS a dedicated file system so that downloads in Safari make sense, and allowing developers to take full advantage of the iPad's processing power. Finally, at number 1, we have podcasts. Apple Podcast. As many have experienced, Apple's podcast app is horrible, and that's why a lot of people have switched to third-party clients such as Overcast and Downcast. Aside from being confusing to use, there are so many things they could fix, such as making people's voices not sound weird when sped up, and allowing video podcasts to go full screen. I just wish Apple's team would just completely redevelop it, and while they're at it, maybe give us a podcast app for OS X. Well, thanks for listening to this month's episode of the Tech Minute. Subscribe on iTunes if you can, and don't forget to check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/CorbanGarciaTech. Any apps I mentioned in today's episode will be down below in the description of this podcast. Thanks for listening. Hey everyone, so what you just heard was my podcast called The Tech Minute. If you liked it, consider subscribing. So, you'll hear my voice next week on Friday.